What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Cheers. Welcome once again to episode 3 of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am your bartender, your virtual bartender, your host, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my lovely partner, my tag team partner in life, my wife, Nicole. Cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking? Happy Friday, everyone. We did it. We made it. Weekend.
Cheers, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Let's get right into it. The big news of this week, CM Punk. Is he snake bitten?
It was, I don't know, hard to watch promo, felt hard promo. Definitely he was upset. You know, that's his thing. He wants to main event WrestleMania. But he did suffer another tricep tear during the Rumble. People are like, I watched it twice. You can see it, but you can't see it. But people are saying it was from the Future Shock DD. Say that 10 times fast. Future Shock DDT by Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Again, I said this to you the other night about CM Punk. It's like, you asked me the one time what it's like being a Jet fan. Aaron Rodgers, after 10 years, or after how long have we been waiting for a franchise quarterback for the New York Jets to come? Our savior, Aaron Rodgers, comes and 4 plays in, he tears his Achilles. We've been waiting 10 years to see CM Punk in a WWE ring. His first match back, torn tricep.
And I feel like it's sort of really, because I was actually at the 2014 Royal Rumble, which was his last match in WWE. And then for his first televised match back in WWE to be the Royal Rumble and to get injured and then to be out to what they're saying 4 to 6 months, depending on how surgery and rehab go.
Yeah, it's a while. You know, it's a while. He's definitely going to be at an uphill battle. And now it's, again, his third injury. And you mentioned his third injury since his 2021 return. And it's both his triceps, his ankle for...
No, he hurt his foot because, like a dum-dum, he jumped into the crowd and smashed his foot. So that was very annoying and all the interim bullshit and blah, 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 blah. But it's, you know, it's...
I got to admit, though, the way that they've kind of pivoted, everything's kind of pivoted with WWE right now with Drew McIntyre, and even like the tweets of Drew McIntyre with the gravestone.
So I think this very much, not to cut you off, babe, but it very much cements heel Drew McIntyre, because he's been this will he, won't he, tweeny, like he did that stuff with Sami Zayn. That's why Sami Zayn was out. But I feel like this cemented Drew, and I think this is gonna, I hope, lead to bigger, better things for Drew. Like, you took out CM Punk, you're putting that on your resume.
As he first came out, I mean, when Punk first came out and returned, you know, the two people that were, at least kayfabe, most upset were Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. So it does fit the bill with everything, and it plays into, you know, his whole character. What's interesting is the fact that his contract's up, you know, is coming up soon, over the summer. So
you mean Drew?
Drew, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thought of, you know, them giving him a significant push, you know, at this point in time would be interesting. I mean, it would lean you to believe that perhaps they're going to re-sign him. They have more of a shot than they think of re-signing him. I was never a huge Drew McIntyre fan. I get it, but you know, he's good in the ring, but I don't love him by any stretch. He never really got over on me.
I think we're really high on. I remember watching the 2020 Rumble before everything went to shit. We were so excited about him winning and toppling big bad Brock Lesnar. I think people were excited about it. I think his character kind of had gotten stale, and I'm hoping this heel turn freshes him.
He's much better as a heel. He's a million times better.
He came back when he was doing this stuff with Dolph Ziggler. He was,
which most people are, though.
Dolph Ziggler is kind of stable. The dirty dogs with Bobby Roode. I don't know. I think he needed this heel turn for a while, and I think this is going to help Drew. I think our conversation's driven.
It happens. That's what happens.
But I think what I've been reading and listening to, I think it's hard we want like CM Punk of like 2011, 2012, 2013. He's not that guy anymore.
Well, he's 10 years old.
People were saying like we said the same thing on our last podcast that we're saying like, oh, he looked gassed, he looked blown up, and then we were like, oh, well, he injured himself. Like, oh, maybe that leans to it, but he looked blew up before then.
He was also a different he's a different type of wrestler. That's what I was worried about. Like, it's kind of as much as I wasn't a fan of Rey Mysterio's for the longest time, the longevity of what he's been able to do. Because of that high-flying style. Not that Punk was a super high flyer, because high flyers don't last very long to begin with, but his style, he did a lot of springboard moves. He did a lot of different things that were more athletic in nature. And now he's 10 years older. And, even some of these guys, it's a different comparison between a guy like Sting at 60 who could just do a splash and a Scorpion Deathlock and look all right and get by on it. Kind of to your point, we expect more of the technical wrestlers.
What I was thinking, I was like, I was not a huge fan of Goldberg, but he came back, he do a spear, and everyone's like, "You're the best! Oh my god!" Everyone's so excited. Like, if CM Punk can't come out and do a 45-minute fucking sprint, then everyone's like, "Oh, he's this, he's that." So I think it's a little bit of both. I think obviously the injuries have hampered him, and God, stop him and Cole and everyone stop jumping off the ramp, please, or off ramp into the ramp, whatever you're doing, stop. But again, he's 10 years older.
Yeah.
Like Goldberg's cool. He can do a spear and go home. But CM Punk, we're like, oh, you lost it.
Exactly.
Like, where's the you still got it chance?
So that opens up the door with CM Punk. We were expecting a Punk Rollins WrestleMania match, which, we still want to see. But now it opens the door. Raw opened after Punk made his announcement. Later in the night, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. Seth basically made his case to pitch to Cody that, listen, you have a great opportunity here with me. We've done some great things already. And basically lined up the idea of another Cody, Seth 4 as a potential opportunity. Do you want that? And I pose this to you, Nicole, and our audience. Do you want that? And write us in, let us know. Obviously, please let us know in the comments. Feel free to call in. Again, this is a call-in show, so you're welcome to voice your opinions and let us know what you're thinking and what you're drinking. But again, Rollins Rhodes 4 or Rhodes Reigns 2? Is the redemption story better with, Rhodes and Reigns being this 2-year built-up story? Or is it, we know what we've seen with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and what they can do, and just another opportunity for them to bring the house down at WrestleMania and kind of rekindle their original feud from, 2 years ago now, when he first debuted?
Yeah. I can make a case either way. I think obviously it's going to be Cody, Roman. I think this, to play, devil's avocado here, I think it definitely is interesting. I loved, I'm very much a huge Seth Rollins fan, but I think this was a kind of, because again, everyone, they're like, oh, well, he got a belt because Roman Reigns wanted to work less. And then I think he kind of morphed this belt into another workhorse title. Like, I'm the one that's here. I'm the one putting in the work. And that's also Cody's, ethos, ethics, his life is like, I do the, we have the shirt is like, you do the work.
Right.
Put in the work. So I love him saying, like, are you going to be a Hollywood champ or are you going to be a workhorse champ? And I love that dynamic. And I think it does add a layer. And I think obviously this changed on the fly with Punk being hurt. I did like the promo, and I love making Seth's belt feel more important, not a consolation prize. But he's got to finish the story. He's got to go after Roman.
Yeah. One of our regulars, Lisa, our author and writer extraordinaire, writes in Rhodes versus Reigns 2. Finish the story. Yeah.
No, I agree. I love the extra layer of like, hey, well, there's also me. I'm also doing this. My belt's more, and I hope this brings a little more gravitas to Seth's belt. I think whoever Seth faces at Mania will take the belt off him because maybe needs a rest. But I like to see that belt is starting to hopefully means a little more. Yeah. At least I agree. Cody Roman makes all the sense in the fucking world, but I did like the promo.
Yeah, I like just be me. I mean, again, it's a nice tease at the very least, even if it doesn't happen. They have proven time and again that they can put on a good match. So I wouldn't be, I'm not going to be crying about it if that's the way that they go with all the changes that have kind of happened recently. But I think there's other people that could benefit from that. And Cody's story, what more of an opportunity are you going to get with Cody?
I'm just again worried where Rock is into this. I personally don't want to see Rock Reigns Cody triple threat. So I guess it's where Rock is if he's going to shoot a shot or head of the table, weasel his.
Oh, agreed. He's got to. For anyone to get put over in that scenario, it's got to be Cody, and because he's the one who has still a longevity in his career left. These other two, I mean, I think he's got more time in his career than Roman. But yeah, there's no sense that needs to be a standalone Rock Roman match, head of the table, whatever you build. It could be its own WrestleMania main event Sunday night. Boom.
Well, then who goes for Cody? I think Cody Roman locked. Then who? I'm sorry. Then who faces Seth?
Seth, I think it's going to be probably Drew.
Yeah,
it could be. I could see Gunther being part of somehow.
Personally, I've been pitching Seth Gunther this whole time, but the rumors, if you believe in sheets, it's either Drew or Sammy.
I just think it points more towards Drew. The promo as well on Raw with Drew getting the heel heat after beating up Punk.
I guess we have to see going into. I don't remember the date off the top of my head when Elimination Chamber is, but obviously that's this month. So we'll have to see who's in. Like, what's the stip? Who's in there? And I think we'll really know. But I assume it's Drew.
I just think it. I mean. That they're going to have a good match together. They'll put something together. There's a good amount of not necessarily building storyline per se, but they're both good in-ring workers. They have Drew's built up enough momentum that he's a credible main event challenger.
My only concern is they kind of just did Seth Drew. Like, was it whatever they just did in Saudi Arabia when he's like and then beat him? So they also kind of just did that program. But it's not WWE.
Yeah.
WWE runs stuff back all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually like the law of threes. That's why the Seth Cody thing doesn't make sense to me. Other than the fact that again, he's never beat Cody, so that dynamic is great for him. But then what happens? You're going to give Cody another back-to-back WrestleMania loss unless you pin him down. Like the only ups from that storyline would be like Cody is just kind of like the John Cena keep losing.
You gotta pull the trigger this year or you kill them. You literally they throw a rubber chicken in the ring like you can't. He's got a winner. He's done. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's enough of the Cody Seth Drew talk.
I can talk to them all day.
I know. We so the other topic. Coming off of Raw, which is basically what mainly the show is focused on this week. That's where we felt most of the news was coming. We'll touch on some of our other shows, even weekly. AEW. If you want to call in, we'll talk AEW as well. This week we didn't really have many notes on the AEW show to speak of, so we try and keep our shows tight. It's happy hour, wrestling happy hour. We want to get as many people in, as many drinks in as possible. So we go on to our third topic, stemming off of Raw. The big changes in the announce team. Pat McAfee is now back. So apparently full-time. I think it's more of I always view these as seasonal approaches. Like it's WrestleMania season. It makes sense to have your best announcers. I feel like your best opportunities of ratings, Pat McAfee is, as an announcer, he's a ratings draw. So I think they're going to bring him in. you might as well load it up for WrestleMania season. I think he'll probably go a little bit after that too. But I'm ecstatic. Pat and Cole are great together. What do you think, Nicole?
So I think I know you say it's seasonal. I think it goes a little longer than that. They just signed a deal with Netflix. We're going to Netflix in 2025 to watch Raw. Having another big outside star as Pat McAfee is, and like I know people are kind of divisive on him, but like give the man some credit. Like his show is huge. So I think that has a little bit to do with it, with the Netflix thing. I personally love Pat McAfee and Cole together. Like I've said before, like listening to Cole back in the day was hard. Seeing him like them jump up and down, because you can see it like rewatching Royal Rumble. The two of them are jumping up and down together. They're grabbing each other's. Like if you saw it again on Raw, like Pat jumps up on the chair and starts like screaming and yelling, and like poor little Michael Cole's holding his jacket so he doesn't fall. Like I think I like excited Michael Cole. I feel like their dynamic brings a lot more fun. When he was like the heel play-by-play guy, I feel like that didn't work.
Oh, Cole's awful.
Cole, like he's in
the coal mine.
Coal mine, awful. This Cole, Pat McAfee is amazing, and he was so excited. Like when he came out at Rumble, he's like, "I knew this time," and they're just like, "I like fun wrestling," and they're passionate about it. It makes me passionate about it.
Well, even the thing with like I feel like I don't know. Maybe he would have said it. Maybe would like the whole like what's her name, Sarah Logan, like the antlers thing. I feel like that was something that he did. He did specifically be like. It just comes out more because he's there with Pat, and it's just like he wants to have a good time.
He's excited to be there, and after all this time and dealing with who screaming in his ear for 20 years, let the man have some fun with his new best friend. I'm here for it.
Well, what that leads to is a shakeup on the SmackDown side of things. So now Corey Graves, who was, I think, playing it. I liked how his kayfabe playing it up, and that he was pissed that. That McAfee was there. Now we'll move over to SmackDown alongside one of my favorites, Wade Barrett. So it seems as if Barrett's going to be the color commentator and Corey's going back to his usual, which I guess in a little bit of the tweener type commentary is what Corey Graves been doing. I guess he was kind of been a little bit of a heel, kind of going back and forth, but now I think you got to be more of a straightforward play-by-play guy. So I'm interested to see how they're going to work together. I really don't know. What do you think?
I'm excited about it. Again, I very much adore Corey Graves and Carmel. That's for a later show, but I definitely love Corey Graves. I think Wade Barrett coming back on commentary, like I really liked him in NXT. I liked him with Michael Cole. The way he just kind of crapped on Cole the whole time. Again, the whole antlers thing, chef's kiss. But if you listen to when it was Corey and Kevin Patrick, and sorry Kevin Patrick got released. I wish him well. I know he calls like they call it footy and the Catholic. But he does he's a good commentator for like other sports. I just think wrestling maybe wasn't his jamboreens.
He didn't do it for me. He just
I don't. But if you listen, I feel like he would get stuck or not know what to do, and then Corey would come in with the play-by-play. So I think towards the end, a lot of it, like, Corey was doing it, and I'm hoping, and I'm thinking this won't be the case. I don't think he'll be like that weird Healy like play-by-play guy that Cole was. I think he'll still have like a personality, because Corey Graves has a huge personality.
Yeah.
But I think if you watch as much as we do and listen as much as we do, like, he was already kind of there. And I think Wade is very good. I think in NXT he was a little more fun, a little more raunchy. But I'm excited. I'm excited to tune in tonight and see that dynamic. I think that's a huge kind of promotion for Corey, because I feel like for the past 15, 20 years, like Cole replaced JR.
Yeah.
And now they're looking for someone to replace. And like Cole took off 3 days in like 100 years. Like, give this man some credit. But I'm hoping maybe they see Corey Graves as that next voice of WWE, the next Michael Cole, the next person because Cole, Corey's,
it's interesting.
30s.
Yeah. I mean, you make a great point because there is like Cole's getting up there now. Like he's at the point where he's been on TV for what, like 20 years plus.
I remember because we were watching all the old Royal Rumbles.
From Attitude Era, he's a backstage guy.
His little mustache, like interviewing The Rock, and The Rock's like, "No,
Hold
you
on,
put the microphone here." Cole, and it's just like, and his little spikies, like he's been there for forever.
Oh, he's 55, so he's not as old. I don't know. I thought he might have been a little. Well, that's fair. Probably about where expected. I mean, he got on TV. Yeah, in mid-30s as a backstage guy. So,
but I hope that maybe this is a promotion for Corey. They see something in Corey.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it'll pan out. I just feel like the experience. I mean, everything I've heard is about Corey is that he can take and adapt to anything. He's a very astute person. So we'll see how it rolls out. They were both color guys. It's gonna be interesting to see two color guys come together.
Also, personally, I like 2-man booths better. I feel like watching AEW the other night, like having 3 or 4 people, sometimes it gets too much. I like a 2-man booth. Give me your straight play-by-play guy with some personality, and give me someone who's going to talk some crap on the side.
Well, you saw that with even at Royal Rumble with McAfee came out and he was all energetic. We like to call it Big Nick energy, and he was ready to go. And even after a few minutes in, it was like he was trying to pick and choose to get his spot in, his word in here or there. And it was kind of awkward.
And then him blatantly saying he didn't know who some people were. So I'm hoping now that he's back full time, he's gonna brush up on some stuff. But Corey knows his stuffs. I think Wade knows his stuff. I was a huge Wade Barrett fan. Him and the IC belt did it for me. So I really hope. Look at his little face. I really hope it. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I have really high hopes, and I think obviously commentary. That's why I love Rumble '92 so much, because Bobby the Braid brought so much to it, and I'm hoping that these new couples really bring it up. I'm excited about it.
I always feel like there's been a heel. Like now that I think about it more, like I always feel like there's kind of been a heel announcer. Always in some form or fashion. They always play devil's advocate. Maybe they're not like a full heel, but they always play.
Well, that's the point of the color commentary. Yeah. It's to be your devil's avocado, to be the opposite, to say something like, "Oh, you're rooting for the heel," or like, "Oh, they have a good point," and not fair to fire. Like they're supposed to bring the spice. That's why you're called the color commentary.
I feel you on that. We want to hear from all you. What are your thoughts on the new announce team? Let us know in the comments below. Feel free to call in. Again, we've got some callers online. We're about to take some calls. Before we get into that, just last thoughts on SmackDown tonight. Any other theories? What do you want to see?
I think Cody's supposed to be there tonight. Because that's what... Oh, so that also brings up a fun thing. So Andrade, like I called, is back. And he signed with Raw. And then Nick Aldis was like, "Wow." And then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to take this call from Braun Breaker," and walked away. So are we going to see Braun tonight? And then he was like, "Oh, I let Bailey be on the show." So it's not that whole where they're superstar shakeup, but they're 3 people were allowed to switch brands and all that.
Andrade is on Raw now. So.
Yeah, so he's on Raw. But Aldis also said to Pierce, it was like, "Oh, I'm letting Bailey be on the show," because technically Bailey's SmackDown, but she won the Royal Rumble, so she was on the show, which I have feelings about that. So, anywhoosies. But then also Cody's supposed to be on SmackDown tonight, so I wonder what Cody's gonna say, if Braun's coming up, anything. I'm sure we're gonna see Heyman.
Yeah, I guess they probably will tease some of the. Oh, I still might challenge Roman or her. Yeah, I know. It's just
guys.
It's still a phenomenal.
I've watched that match probably 3 or 4 times, and I cringe every time. But I want to rewatch it just to see he's like, "Well, it's not going to get any worse, guys. Let's just do this."
Yeah, I know it's brutal. Me personally, I'd like to see if Braun Breaker shows up tonight. In terms of
also rumors, Tiffany Stratz is supposed to. She's supposed to be at the taping if she's on the main, if she's doing a dark match. Rumors is that they really liked how she looked and they want to bring her up. So
I want to see if Jade will show up tonight too.
She was not. I feel like she wasn't. I don't know. She wasn't. I feel she's more like a Raw
Mm.
superstar.
Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah,
So
but also
after Rumble, I feel
but
like
I think
everyone's on
maybe
every
we'll,
show. So
shout out. I know John's not listening tonight, but your girl Liv Morgan is supposed to show up tonight. She's a SmackDown star.
a regular John Stinger Homan.
Your girl's
shout out.
Your girl's supposed to show up tonight on SmackDown, apparently.
Yeah, so maybe that's the build up for her.
Yeah. So then also, everything was going with LWO and I'm not gonna say that right.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
Santos Escobar and his people.
I was excited to see if Andrade ends up on SmackDown, and they're going to further that. Maybe they're just slow burning that till maybe after Mania. Well, if he's on Raw now, it'll probably be till after Mania, and maybe give it its proper due as like more of a main event storyline than a mid card one, which would be great. So great for them. I mean, they're, Santos is a great worker. Andrade is a great worker. So give them an opportunity to be in the mainstay, in the limelight, especially now that it seems like factions are coming back and being a thing in WWE lately. The Bloodline and
we'll see
Lashley's group, the AOP group.
What are they calling? Yeah. What are they calling themselves?
The final chapter.
Final chapter, and then Bobby and the Street Profits are called the Pride. So Pride versus the final chapter.
Which I feel like is just gonna bury Bobby again.
I want so much for Karrion Kross, and I just feel like it's not happening. I was hoping Ellering would maybe pull him up, but
what are you gonna do? All right, well, let's break it in. Let's take some callers. We have someone on the line. What do you want to know? The name is Justin Timberline. Justin, what are you drinking and what are you thinking?
Water, Nick. How you doing? How you doing, folks?
Good. How are you?
Doing okay.
You sound like one of our other callers, or other regulars.
Oh, do I? I'm sorry.
You sound like one of our other regulars, Steven.
I am Steven now. Or maybe I'm not.
So what are you thinking, Steve?
I feel like he's running out with a balaclava.
I was listening. I came in. You were talking about the announced teams, and I'll believe Graves can do play-by-play. When I see it. We'll see how it works out. I hope they've been, giving him some training for the last few weeks, maybe in anticipation of this. My first thought, though, was doesn't Joey Styles still work for WWE in some capacity?
No, you mean the ECW guy?
Yeah, no. I thought he worked behind. He's been working behind the scenes for like years.
Google.
Check. I haven't heard that name in a while.
I personally cannot stand him in commentary.
Oh my god!
Like it's so much. There was the one night we fell asleep to ECW, and I literally woke up with him screaming, "Oh my god!" Sorry.
Yeah, that would get somebody's alerts up.
So what would you want Joey Styles to come back to the announced team? It sounds like you're a Joey Styles fan.
Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I used to stay up late and watch that ECW show 1 a.m. Saturday nights, Sunday mornings on MSG, and I loved it. And he obviously knows and loves wrestling. And if he's still in-house doing something, I thought it would be a good fit.
Be interesting.
A quick Google says that he has retired from pro wrestling commentating in 2016. He was announcing in Shikara, which is
the indie,
an indie promotion, and there's a little controversy over there. So he has not been around wrestling since 2016.
Okay.
Wikipedia.
Well, that would have been my thank you for that. Yeah, that would have been my next suggestion is go to one of these other lesser promotions and look into bringing maybe one of their announcers over when they're when those contracts are up, and instead of trying to convert somebody who who's well versed in announcing, maybe they brought somebody over from ESPN or in the case of Jimmy Smith from UFC. Bring over somebody who's well versed in announcing wrestling.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I just feel like the WWE is always about organically kind of building up their guys.
But personally, I love Big Joseph, who's down in, he had a stint on Raw for a little bit, or SmackDown, wherever him and Corey were, and he's been the NXT guy for a very long time. I'm surprised they didn't bring him up.
Yeah. I don't
know. He can deal with Booker T at NXT if he can handle anything on main. I don't know if them bringing, because like the stuff with Jimmy Smith did not work. So I don't know if really bringing in an outside person. Like Steven, I get your point, or Justin, I get your point, but I don't like. Or when they had that other, who was the guy who called him Matt Harvey.
Oh yeah,
Adam somebody, whoever.
Oh, he's passed away though, Adam Lee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd kind of be hard to get him.
I'm just saying, like, you bring in these outside people that don't really get. I
never
hope
know.
I have, you know.
Well, what was
but
who was oh my gosh, he was the NXT guy, and now I'm blanking on his name. He was the UFC guy. Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. He was phenomenal. All the NXT events were great when he announced. He was just so into it all the time. Again, I don't know if you'd want to. It seemed like he did a lot of like specialty events, but we'll see. Well, Steve, thanks for the call in. Cheers. We're cutting you off. On to the next. Oh, sorry. We have Lisa, the author. I guess we sparked enough of a feeling in her to get a call in. Lisa, what are you thinking? What are you drinking? Oh, you gotta mute your other YouTube.
What up?
What's going on? You gotta mute your YouTube, Lisa, because it's a delay.
Hold on.
We'll mute her.
I've been having trouble. Hold on 1 second.
We'll mute her for a second.
You only want to hear one Nick, not multiple.
Yeah,
Nicks.
we could have 4 different Nicks at once. It'll be a Nick faction. It will be the Nick Club. I think we got it.
Hold on.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. You're good now.
now.
We can hear you.
Okay, we good?
Yeah. All right, Lisa's in.
Yeah,
What are you thinking? And what are you drinking?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
What are you thinking and what are you drinking?
All right. I'm drinking water. Yay. What am I thinking? So you guys were talking about CM Punk. He went to the possible WrestleMania main events. And I mentioned how I think it really should be Reigns versus Cody too. Just finish the story. And that kind of I was watching on Instagram. I think it was WWE who posted it when Cody Rhodes met up with CM Punk backstage, and CM Punk, tears in his eyes, said to him, "Finish the story, bro." I was like, "That's it. It has to be this. It has to be like it can't be anything else now," because that just it made me cry, honestly. But I would love to see. I don't know, maybe a title versus title between Rollins and Rhodes, just to continue that story, because I know they were trying to bring that back. I don't know,
like,
but
do you want like a unified
yeah, I'm leaning towards Rhodes and Reigns.
Like a Survivor Series fight.
So do you want to
like Survivor Series? Let's see who's the better champ.
Okay. Because someone else threw that out on the internet. They're like, combine the belts. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I feel like every time they do it, 6 months later, they realize they need the 2 belts because Raw or SmackDown. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be an issue if I don't know. I feel like the Intercontinental title has the prestige that you could carry its own show. Like if you wanted to do that, like dare I say, even like NXT, like if you wanted to do something like that, you could. But that's where they always go back to a world title, some sort of world title on Raw or SmackDown, or whichever one doesn't have the current champion.
Well, that's also the thing that they're dealing with.
Yeah, I think
Roman's not booked. Seth is not going to do the trip. Gunter can't be there because he's trying to get a green card, so he can't leave the country. You got Rhea,
ooh,
your home girl, but like, there's no champions like on that card, and it feels, was it WrestleMania 31 or 32? 31 when everyone was injured.
Yeah, it's getting like that where it's just again a war of attrition. SummerSlam could be really good, but no, they'll find a way to make this a good card. I still have faith it's gonna be a great card, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with it. Any other last thoughts, Lise, on the week in wrestling or in general?
I am getting excited about if Punk comes back after his injury, which was really weird. They're saying that Drew injured him, and they showed the video of when he got injured, and it's just looking like he like Drew didn't do anything. He just kind of went up wrong because it looked like it happened during the powerbomb,
Hmm.
and it just looks like CM Punk kind of went up wrong. So I don't know, but I've been loving I saw one video on Instagram where Drew was like, "I'm working on my triceps," and he's doing the
Yeah.
whatever, the pull-up or whatever, and you just see those tricep muscles going. I'm like, "Oh, good God." And I would love for a Drew CM Punk match at some point,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll
He's like,
see if
I'm gonna
Punk even
help
returns.
you. So
Yeah, so I mean, and maybe that's the his comeback arc towards the belt. Gets him. He's going to come back and be in the main event picture no matter what. So
yeah.
I mean, even if he's whether it's the belt with the belt or not. So we'll see. Well, Lise, thanks for
What
calling
if?
in. As always, thanks again.
My pleasure. Thank you for
Cut
having
off.
me.
Catch you next time. All right. Well, any other last callers? I don't see anyone else in the queue here. Seems like we got everybody out there. So kind of a little bit of a light show this week, so to speak. But again, we're here every Friday at 5:30, talking the week in wrestling. Anything you want to talk about, WWE, AEW, the Indies. Let us know what you're thinking about all CM Punk, Rollins versus Rhodes, Rhodes versus Reigns, all that stuff. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Become a regular. We want to hear from you all. Until next time, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Cheers.
Bye.